Welcome to the Four Bells and Workout from Home number 81. Today we have ourselves a glorious leg day in the books. Just because we are in a push-up cycle does not mean we neglect things from the nipples down. We are going to be looking at our legs today. We're going to be focusing on two things in our strength piece today, some unilateral strength work as well as a lot of attention for the buns. For our warm-up today, we're going to get ourselves ready. We are going to do three things. A squat hangout. How is our general mobility in the ankles, the knees, the hips, and even in the spine too. From there, the split squat, looking at not only warming up the individual legs, but also looking at ankle dorsiflexion as well, making sure those ankles are really primed, and also a way to see if there's a difference between one leg and the other. And then from there, the glute bridge, getting the posterior chain and those powerful buns all warmed up. We're going to do those three things 3 times in the warm-up. Let's take a look at it. For a squat hangout, it's simple. You're going to be in a squat. So we get ourselves down into a squat. And we're going to hang out in the deepest, darkest position we can. So ideally in this position, we're going to be very passive, which means that I haven't got any muscular tension, and I'm just trying to explore how well I can close the 3 joints, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. So when it comes to the 30-second hangout, you can just passively hang out. But what I would recommend, if you are prone to boredom quickly, is just kind of assess how the ankles go. So I like to shift from side to side, from side to side. And of course, you can play around with any of these. I like to draw circles with the knees, see how the ankles are feeling. You can play around with internal and external rotation through the hip. You can get really fancy, bring foot down, pew pew, come back up, switch to the other side, come back down, pew pew. All of these things are fun things that you can do when doing your squat hangout. So you can just hang out for 30 seconds, or you can do some more exploratory work as well. With the split squat, we are doing a different movement to a lunge. The key in the title lunge is the projection of movement. In the lunge, I'm lunging towards you, I'm moving backwards. In a split squat, we establish the base. Then what we're really trying to look at here is how much we can close those joints against. That's what we're trying to assess. So I set myself up with my split stance. As I bring the back knee down, I'm thinking about the front knee, my shin coming as far forwards as possible while trying to keep the heel down the whole time. So I'm trying to get that shin as far over the toes as I can. I then press back up and come to that starting position. Shift all of my way forwards, touch the back knee down if I can, and then press back up. So really focusing on ankle dorsiflexion, we're going to do 5 reps per side of a split squat. With glute bridging, on the workout on the board in your PDF, so you got emailed, it says 5 per leg. But first of all, you may think to yourself, I'm not sure if I can do this with both legs. So how do I do a double leg glute bridge? What I've got to do is have the knees roughly about 90 degrees. Foot position is going to affect how much the hamstring plays a part. So roughly about 90 degrees is okay. With the upper body, we're just driving the elbows into the floor for some stability. If we can, we drive the hips up, squeeze the glutes. So if you can do double legs pretty well, we're going to move the foot in just a little bit closer to my center of my mat. And I'm going to do a single leg for 5 reps. So either way, when we are doing our warm-up today, it's going to be a squat hangout for 30 seconds, split squats for 5 per side, and if we can, single leg glute bridge for 5 per side. We do that for 3 rounds. Have fun. For our strength piece today, we have got some unilateral work, some single side focus today. And we're doing it slightly different. Normally we have a set amount of reps, but today we are doing them for timed sets. So of course that means that regardless of how long the time is, the amount of work you can do is going to be directly dictated by the intensity of the movement. So if the movement is very, very difficult, you're probably going to find you're going to do less reps. If it's pretty easy, you might find you'll be able to bash out more. So with our strength piece today, we're going to do 5 sets. Each set is 3 minutes long, split into 2 90-second windows of time. In our first 90-second window, it's going to be walking lunges. So regardless of how big your space is, we're going to see if we can continually move forward. That moving forward is going to make those lunges a little bit spicier. And if we can, across our 5 sets, maybe we're going from body weight to adding some weight to the situation as well. From there, in our second 90 seconds, we are going to do some single leg glute bridging, or hip thrusting more particularly. With each 30 seconds, The idea is to see how many reps we can do. You may be able to add a little bit of weight to it, but really I would say for most people, being at body weight is perfectly fine for this today. So let's talk about how the setup for both of these bad boys should look. With the walking lunge, the key is in the title, as we said in the warm-up. The idea with lunging is I am moving in a direction. And that can be a lunge where obviously I'm stepping forwards, coming back into place, reverse lunges, lateral lunges. There's many different variations of lunges we can do. Today, in the space you're working with at home, ideally we're going to be moving forwards. With that, I find with the walking lunge, that need to decelerate, particularly as we're moving forwards, makes it that much tougher on the quads and the glutes, and that's what we want for you today. So when it comes to setting up for a lunge of any kind, I want to have a nice base of support, which means feet should be on train tracks. If you find the feet line up, stability gets that much harder. So when it comes to a walking lunge, I want to think nice vertical torso position. I'm going to step out, gently touch the back knee down. And you can really kind of play around with torso position. So we found that the more vertical the torso is, the more it affects the quad. If we bring the torso down slightly, you're going to find that's going to affect the glutes a little bit more. And of course, if I get to my wall, wherever I am, I'm just going to go back. So it's going to be 45 seconds of walking lunges. And if you find you can do them with body weight pretty well, then you can add some dumbbells, you can have a goblet squat. So if you can, we're going to be doing walking lunges for 45 seconds and make them as spicy as you can. We are going to do hip thrusts for 30 seconds on one leg, 30 seconds on the other. When it comes to setup, all you really need is something reasonably soft for the upper back. We should not be on like a hard edge of a stair or a box or anything like that. It's going to be very, very uncomfortable. So when it comes to our hip thrust, if you were doing a barbell hip thrust from the floor, bench height is going to be very important. But as we're not doing that today, kind of anything will work. So that could be like if you have a bench that you normally bench press on, great. You could do it on maybe stairs, maybe the top of the stairs, I say that tenuously. Make sure you've got a mat to protect the upper back. Could do it on the edge of the couch, as long as your couch isn't too squishy. But either way, whatever I'm setting up on, as you can see here at the gym, we have a box with a mat over it. I'm going to set up so the edge of my box is just underneath my shoulder blades. So I like to set up first with both feet. So that means at the top, I'm looking through and I'm trying to tuck my tail between my legs, squeeze my glutes. And if I just want to try with both legs first of all, I'm going to bring the hips down and then drive the hips up. Notice how I'm always looking at the wall in front of me. If that's easy and very doable for you, we're just going to bring one foot in slightly, other leg comes up, we come down, I drive up, squeeze that glute, and we're going to do 30 seconds on one leg, and then of course switcheroo, and we do 30 seconds on the other. So that is our hip thrust today. With the conditioning piece today, we are trying to do short, intense bursts and see how much work we can get done across 4 rounds of these bursts today. So we've got a 3-minute AMRAP. AMRAP, if you don't know, stands for as many rounds or reps sometimes as possible. Today in each round, we're going to be doing 3 squat thrusts, then 6 mountain climbers, 3 per side, and then 9 air squats. So the idea is how many times can we get through this in 3 minutes? I'm then going to take a 1-minute rest and then start again wherever I left off. So for example, if I do my first 3-minute AMRAP, let's say in 3 minutes I get through 3.5 rounds. I get halfway through the mountain climbers. When I start after my 1-minute break, I then start wherever I finish. If I did 3 mountain climbers, I then start on mountain climber number 4 and continue to go for another 3 minutes. The idea is to do those 3-minute AMRAPs 4 times today with the 1-minute break in between and see how many total rounds we can get across our, how many minutes is that? 4 times 3 is 12 collective minutes of working today. Let's talk about these 3 movements. They're pretty simple, but we've got to keep the pace high. For our 3-minute AMRAPs, 3 body weight exercises. The only thing equipment-wise you might need is a mat. Personally for me, I would find a mat that would make me slip around on the floor, so I'm not going to use one in this demonstration. But if you need a mat for your hands for mountain climbers, feel free to get it. In terms of the movements we're doing 3 squat thrusts. What's a squat thrust? Essentially, if you're looking for a generalized description, it is a burpee without the push-up and without the jump. So that means it should be hands down, feet out, feet in, stand up. Hands down, feet out, feet in, stand up. So 3 squat thrusts. From there, 6 mountain climbers. So I'm going to be in a lungy position, hands on the floor, and every time I jump, that's 1 rep. So it'll be 6, 5, 4, 3, but not least, is air squats. Always, even if we're trying to move fast, quality is first. So that means hips as low as possible, moving with purpose for 9 delightful reps. 3 squat thrusts, 6 mountain climbers, 9 air squats. We're doing that as many times as possible in 3 minutes. We're doing that for 4 rounds. Keep a tracking and total score of your workout. It's going to be fun. Let us know how you go.